Oh my gosh, look how beautiful this floor is. I just called over and said how everything's going. They said, hey, we're laying the floor, and I said, I'm coming over to see it, and I'm really excited about it. They've got about 2/3 of it going. They're already setting some cabinets up front. Can't wait till you see that. I know I'm going to be out here in just a second, guys, in a minute. Anyway, this is a walnut floor. It's a pre-finished walnut floor. We sell pre-finished wood 90% of the time. I like it because it goes in very clean, it goes in fast. You know exactly what you're getting, and from a functional side, it's just a much harder floor than you get with a sand and seal finish in your own house. They literally put the stain on, and they put on all the top coat finishes, and they bake it in. So that's what makes it a harder floor than what you can get put in locally. The 3/4 inch floor, it's not that I'm opposed to it, it's just that there's some limitations to that, and there's some height differences and things like that that tend to be a little bit of an issue in the house. But this is a gorgeous floor. I love walnut. Walnut is probably one of my favorite woods. It's very traditional. It's not a wood that you're going to look down the road and go, I'm not really excited about. It's not too jazzy, it's not too much, and it's really going to ground this kitchen. This dark wood is really going to make the light cabinets in the blue look fabulous. So this is a great start. This is when the fun really begins, and I think the homeowners are going to be really, really thrilled with this. So carry on, men. Keep on working. Gotta get them working again.
Piece of artwork that I'm using in this room is what the customer already had. And yes, it's contemporary, and yes, I have a traditional kitchen. I really love that it's a mix, and that's what makes this house an absolutely wonderful place to work. The owners love contemporary and traditional, which keeps the house grounded. At the same time, it shows off their personality.
What a great piece. I hope is it straight? Anyway, I'll look at it in a minute. Now, look at this. Melon walls in this kitchen. It was yellow. I came back, did the melon walls. Where'd the melon come from? Well, this rug right here is where the color in the room started from. Remember, you're going to see this in just a second because it looks so fabulous that way. The blue tile started the kitchen. Well, the customer had this color rug. It's got beautiful reds and melons. You see the navy blue in it. It's got some yellow in it. And really, I decided this will set the room. We needed to have something that would warm the room up, working with pretty cool colors and off-whites, and this really does it. And of course, then we painted the walls all this wonderful melon color. So I'm really, really, really happy with the way that it turned out. Love the contemporary artwork. They already had the chairs, the yellow ottoman, so you see the whole thing works. In this room, sun porch, we painted the whole sun porch this beautiful buttery yellow, and you see those chairs back in that back corner? Again, that's that same blue that we pulled out of that tile, and they've had those chairs for probably 35, 40 years. Wonderful, wonderful room to work with. Now let's take a look at the kitchen. Oh, you saw the TV sitting over there? It's going away. That one's not going to be here anymore. There's going to be a brand new big screen, flat screen right there on the wall, not here yet. We're 98.7% finished with this room. So I'm going to show you this now because we have a great time to film. Look at the island. I told you that was going to be the focal point, and is that a great place for the family to get together and have a meal or drink some wine? And I kind of prefer the wine. What do I love about it? Well, first of all, the blue turned out wonderful. Design is great. We're about 9 feet long. I'm just so excited about the soapstone that we used on top. It's actually got 3 layers to it to make this big thick edge on it, which really makes a wonderful profile. You see this large leg that we have here, and we broke it out to the front like this all the way around, which gives some real interest to it. They did the people that did that, and you saw how they did it, they do a laser and they put dots out, and it really shows how the countertop works. How it can be laid out. Well, that's why they do such a great job. All the edges are perfectly smooth. You can run all the way around here. There's not a ripple in it. It is absolutely perfect. That's why they do the best work. Love the design. Work it all the way across. There's drawers on the other side. We have shelves that can go down here that she's going to end up putting baskets and fun little knickknacks to go back in there. Maybe some coffee books. No, maybe some cookbooks in there. And I just love the way it turned out. The size is perfect. When we did this room, we had to not only think about how it was going to interact in the kitchen, and we walk all the way around. We also had to think about how functionally it was going to work. And when they have all the people around here cooking or eating, you can see there's plenty of space. We had to light it also. The lighting above, we changed all the lighting in the room, went down to a low voltage. A little small aperture. It used to be these big, typical ugly 6-inch can lights with the bulb up inside of it. Don't like those. So we got to go to low voltage. These actually burn less energy and have more wattage or more light coming out of it. So you see symmetrically we put 6 across here to give this as much light as this possibly could use, and so it makes a great work surface. So island, even better than I imagined. Very, very excited about it. Now let's look at the cabinetry. You saw it partially done. Of course we have the countertops in. We have virtually everything finished in here except for a few things. Remember how great the the storage is? There it is again, all put together. And I got to talk about this hardware. This absolutely made the kitchen. When you have a plain cabinet, the best thing you can do is kick up the hardware a little bit. Gives them just enough dressiness to the room. Gives a nice interest that the cabinets are played back a little bit, the hardware's played out a little bit. So I think it's a terrific add. We did the same hardware here as we did on the drawers, and then on some of the drawers we did a handle that is easier just to pull for the big dish drawers like that, or the pot drawers. Now, the hood. Finally, after we installed the kitchen, the homeowner finally could see what I wanted. I wanted to come in and put the hood up. I wanted to pick the tile back up again we used on the backsplash. I love this because you see the subway tiles here tied in with the rope molding, which gives a break to their tile. Their tile had a little bit of a gray background to it, so we put a white grout in there. We needed this white to break up the two, and that's what ties it together. But I think the blue looks fantastic. Really just makes this whole side of the room. It's not too much, but it definitely is just enough to make it work out well. My favorite Viking range going here, be it a 36 or a 48, I don't care which one you get. And what I love about Viking, you know, we've talked about why is the Viking range the best. This is the reason it's the best. And maybe you can see a little smoke going here. Believe it or not, I'm cooking on a paper plate right now. And what am I cooking? I'm cooking chocolate, and I've had it on here for about 10 to 15 minutes. And you can see, and it's actually totally to that point that it's melted all the way down. It's been about 15 minutes. Didn't burn the plate, scorched a little bit, melted the chocolate. There's not another range that I know of that will kick down that low. And that's what makes the difference in great cooking, your ability to control heat. When you need high heat, like you're going to sear a steak or maybe saute some mushrooms and you want to caramelize those down, you need super high heat. So you kick this thing all the way up, it's throwing out some major BTUs. It hits that meat or it hits that those mushrooms, and it evaporates the water in them, which allows the sugars inside each one of those things to caramelize. And that's what makes it a wonderful cooking surface at high heat. Now, on the other hand, which I just demonstrated, you take it all the way down low. And I can't touch this burner because I just turned that on. But I literally can put my hand on top of that burner and it wouldn't burn me. It is that low, but there's still heat, and that allowed me to melt that chocolate. Why is that good? It's good because if you make white sauces, anything that has the ability to separate at a higher heat, but you want to keep it, usually you have to make a sauce up and then serve it because it'll separate on you. Here I can literally make sauces up, I can stick it on the back burner, put it on low, it'll stay at a perfect temperature and will not separate. So for my side, with a little French cooking, kind of fun to realize that you can make your sauces ahead of time and then serve them instead of that very last minute trying to frantically put it together. If you do a lot of baking or you do things with chocolate like what I just did, you don't need a double boiler anymore. You literally can put it in a pan, throw your chocolate chips on top of it, throw it in there on low, leave it for 5 minutes, back perfectly creamy and melted down perfect. So heat source is the key word here. You get the temperature control exactly the way you want it. Love my Viking range in here. They're going to love it too. I'm actually going to cook dinner for them on here. They need to know how to cook on this. It's not that they don't know how to cook. They really do know how to cook, but they don't know how to sear a steak. So I'm going to show them that. You see now that we have our profiles all finished out with the trims at the top. And of course we're triple trimmed, so we've got a freeze board in there and a secondary trim, and you see that wonderful cove molding that goes up and finishes off to that ceiling. And the cove molding then goes up and hits the soffit. And what I love about this kitchen, which really makes it, is this fabulous blue ceiling that we did. The ceiling at one time was just a washed maple, which went with the other European style cabinets. But we pulled that blue out, which came from the tile, which also then we put on the island. And it just ties the entire kitchen together. Really, really interesting. What you can't see right now is the wonderful crystal chandelier we have coming in here. It's not here yet. Like I said, it's 98.5% finished, but the crystal chandelier is going to be hanging right now there where that beautiful light bulb is. Anyway, it's going to look great. Guess what? Remember, it was a debate on lighting the cabinet or not lighting the cabinet? Well, there you go. There's a lit cabinet. Had to have it. Are you kidding me? With dishes like this, pulling the blue in again, looking through that. Again, you can see that roof glass really well now. That had to be done. It's LED lighting that's actually put behind it. It's really, really thin. We'll show that to you in just a second. Now take a look at that LED lighting. Very, very thin that's in the back of that. So anyway, that lighting makes a difference. Pull the light rail in the back. Got LED lighting running across there, so you have lighting across underneath your countertop. And I can't say enough about this countertop. Now you saw the guy with the laser light putting this in. Why is that important? He puts it on all the corners, he gets all the edges just right, he knows this radius curve here, and of course a very difficult thing to do is get this radius and this right exactly with this column that we developed to go on each side of the kitchen. I love to break countertops front to back, especially when they get into long areas. This is not a terribly long countertop, but the added interest that this gives to the front of this cabinetry is relatively inexpensive to do, but very, very dramatic when you do it. So I've got the countertop here that goes together with the column that goes down, and you see how that column, again, with all the trim of the base molding across the bottom on the floor, makes a beautiful profile and just a wonderful added interest to break all of this cabinetry all the way up. So really pleased with it. Triple bowl sink. You know how I feel about triple bowl sinks. Got to have a place to dump, got to have a place to wash, got to have a place to rinse. That's what you've got with this. Instant hot water underneath it. They've really improved these. You know, the days of having a 3 or 5 gallon tank underneath are gone. This tank literally is about this big, about that long. Enough hot water for, 8 or 9 cups of coffee immediately. So I think that's a wonderful aspect. Always love my faucets. I like single levers usually. The single lever with the sprayer is very, very popular. I'm game either way. I don't care if you sprayer separately or you do this. I just think those are extremely functional. And of course, the side that you wash dishes in would make a whole lot of sense to have a soap dispenser on that side. So you start your water up and you hit your soap dispenser and boom, you've got the suds without bringing the Joy bottle out. So functional, great. I love the backsplash here, simple. Whole thing ties in. If you notice this too, I didn't really point this out. To tie this cabinet together, because we have this great crown, we dropped the ceiling over the windows, added 2 lights in there, and carried the crown across the room. And again, broke it so it becomes a very interesting light. So just another little detail that we think about unconsciously. Always love my dishwashers. Totally clad to where you don't even know they're there. This cabinet matches that cabinet over there, and everything becomes very symmetrical. So it's just a nice hidden aspect in the kitchen that's easily done today. The refrigerator, her original Sub-Zero, these are the panels that we took. We resprayed them to match the lacquer that's on the cabinet. Totally took her refrigerator and updated it. Again, the crown comes out all the way around, matches against that blue ceiling. I think is great. So this is a lot of fun to have, to see this kitchen at this position. 98.5% finished. Oh wait, I got to talk about this side too. This is where the microwave ended up. This is a little bar area that you can mix drinks, a little bar sink here. Wonderful stainless steel sink. Love my stainless steel sink. Listen, hear that? That's a good stainless steel sink. A crappy one sounds like it's hollow. This one, dampened, very thick 16 gauge stainless steel, a little more money, but boy is it worth it when you do it. One other great aspect too, hidden again. Voila, the nice Miguel's here. And we love it because it makes that perfectly clear ice that everybody wants in every drink. Has a filtering system in it. Makes, I think this would make 40 pounds of ice a day. You want to kick it up for a party. It is a monster ice maker. But again, hidden totally away from the rest of the room. Black countertops, wonderful. White countertops, wonderful. Blue accents. I don't know how this kitchen gets any better. You got to see some of the subs that we use here and how our entire project works together. And always remember, at Ashley Bailey and Rustin Martin, we work very hard to bring it all together. I'm Mike Rust. Thanks so much for watching the show. Make sure you tune in next time.